my mom came into the room and she's like, look at my phone. And then I couldn't see it, so I had to look at mine. I'm like, oh.
I can't bet against Tom Brady. I have the Bucks winning 31-27 and Tom Brady going to his 10th championship.
Yeah, and I really think the Clippers' chance to win the championship was last year. And they were up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets.
Chris Paul is one of the most underrated players of all time. He's been the best player wherever he goes, and that includes with the Rockets.
You said you can't bet against Tom Brady, and as a Cowboys fan and what I just did last weekend, I am not going to bet against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. I mean, that's all I can really say. There's two of the top 5 players in the league, and they are very, very good.
Hello, I'm Taylor Hearn, and you listen to The Outsiders' Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. There have been some trades, but this is from a few days ago. The New York Knicks finally selected a coach, and it's former Sacramento Kings coach Mike Brown. And Austin, this kind of goes into the risk of firing Thibodeau when the coaching search had been done for a lot of teams. And I'll let you talk a little bit more about this. I like this. I'm excited for a new voice, and Mike Brown, kind of what he did with Sacramento. I'm excited to see how he takes that experience with the Knicks, who I want to view as like sort of a team similar to Sacramento, but that's not necessarily true. It's just kind of that New York idea of they're not great and they've struggled forever. But it is a tough position for Mike Brown compared to the Kings situation where they hadn't been to the playoffs in a long time.
Yeah, and while sure they may have struggled for a while, it's not really the same thing. Just in the fact that they have been in the Eastern Conference Final last year and made the second round the year before that, and have been in a lot of competitive series and da 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 da. So I just don't think Mike Brown obviously made the NBA Finals with the Cavs back in 2007. He's been a coach of the Cavs. He's been a coach of the Lakers for a season. He went back to the coach of the Cavs in 13-14, and then was also a coach, obviously, for the Sacramento Kings. He's won 2 Coaches of the Year, 2009 with the Cavs, and 2023 with the Kings. But I just don't understand, because I feel like this is kind of a step down. Now, Mike Brown's definitely a good head coach, and he's made it further than Thibodeau has. But Thibodeau has built the roster up, and Mike Brown, I don't know if he could take it more than what it already is. But I could be wrong. I mean, Mike Brown's a very good coach. He has experience with teams going far in the playoffs. The Knicks are a unique situation, though, because I don't know what they're going to do with Cat. There was some internal fighting regarding that. I don't know what they're going to do with the extension of some of the other guys besides Brunson. And New York is a hard place to coach. While he did coach in LA for a season, it's not the only one that's comparable to it is LA, Celtics, and New York, because of just how big a markets those cities are. It's a hard city to coach in. There are extremely high expectations even when they are bad, but they're not. They expect to be title contenders for 3 reasons. The East has no title contenders right now. Brunson is in his prime, and you just went to the Eastern Conference Finals. So the Tatum injury and the Halliburton injury and the Dame injury and the rest of the East kind of being in a middling spot. I mean, the Knicks expect to be in the finals next year. At least their fans do. And Mike Brown's going to have to take that and actually do something with it, because New York is one of those cities, I know as a Yankees fan, it doesn't let you hear the end of it if you make a mistake. So if you don't meet expectations, I fully expect Mike Brown to hear that. But I will say, if you have success in New York, if he wins a title in New York, he will be remembered forever. And that it goes both ways with I do think that the love for a player or a coach is just as loud as the hate, but because of how much people are against, like, hating a player, hating a coach, or hating a decision, they don't like that. But I feel like if you are extremely successful in New York, you will be remembered forever for that legacy. It's just, if you don't, you'll be ridiculed for your entire time. So it's a tight seesaw to balance, but Mike Brown has experience as a head coach. I understand why they signed him. But that he doesn't make necessarily the best decisions. I mean, Sacramento Kings, I think part of the reason why he was fired was because he was not playing the right guys. Now, De'Aaron Fox loved him, and De'Aaron Fox did not want him to get fired. But he was benching Keon Ellis, who is one of their best shooters and one of their best defenders, for Kevin Huerter, who was atrocious last year. So, can he make the right roster decisions? But I know he can buy that locker room. I know the locker room will love him. They've loved him in every place that he's gone. It's just, can he actually make the right in-game decisions to help the Knicks get past where they were the past couple of years?
Yeah, and talking about that New York spotlight, you saw it with Thibodeau. There was constant ideas of should the Knicks move on from Thibodeau, and they finally did in a shocking way because he had just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So you can argue it is a step back. I don't see it as a step back, but I don't see it as a clear upgrade. It's more of different voice, different idea with Mike Brown versus Thibodeau. Whereas I think if they selected Michael Malone, I view that as a clear upgrade, given that Michael Malone is, I would say, is the top coach. Even though the league seems to disagree as he's currently unemployed, but he was someone that just won a title and knows how to deal with. And I think the key thing is defense with this Knicks team, as you talk about Cat, whereas Jokic is a good defensive center. His value comes on the other side of the court. I think Malone would have been able to provide some ideas of what they could do if they chose to do keep Cat or move on from him, even after just a year of trading for him. So that to me is where the idea of, is this really an upgrade over Thibodeau? Because that's the only reason you fire Thibodeau, is like, we have someone we want that is going to be a clear upgrade and get us to that finals. You can argue Mike Brown is that guy. You can also argue he isn't that guy. So, and of course, there's that argument with every coach, but I believe Michael Malone would have been hard to argue against, of he's someone that can get him to the finals.
Yeah, and obviously the fans have no choice. With the front office definitely believes in Mike Brown, and that's all that really matters at this point. It's going to be making those decisions in the playoffs. Can he do it? Can he make smart changes? And the Knicks are not done making moves, I feel like. There's still a lot of moves to make across the NBA, but especially with the Knicks, because even if you get to the finals, I don't think the Knicks were even in the same ballpark as the Thunder this past year. So, and obviously they got pretty dismantled in some of those games against the Pacers. So it's going to come down to changes that are made and how much they can get the best out of Brunson and the rest of the players around him.
Yeah, this hire is really going to be judged on what happens in the playoffs. So we've talked about that with the Stars video, and just kind of that's what you really show when you fire someone after making the Eastern Conference Finals. So we'll keep you updated on that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.